We have previously made a video about squatting in St Agnes Place. Now then, James, he had a squat before that, and we're going to investigate what happened exactly in Willow Close in 1974.
Absolutely.
So what did happen in Willow Close in 1974?
Okay. My father nagged me to leave home for about a year, and by chance, two of the venture scouts met a friend of theirs who'd left school a couple of years before in Willow Close. He lived in number 3. He'd been a bus conductor in Somerset, but had epilepsy due to the flashing of the sun on the trees as the bus went along.
So how many squats were there in Willow Close?
There were about a dozen derelict houses.
Quite a few there. There were a dozen derelict, and they were all occupied?
Only one was occupied by an old tenant, Mr. Roberts, who lived in number 6 with his bedridden wife and 30-year-old daughter. And Gary lived in number 9.
Well, he was a squatter?
Yeah.
So how many were occupied with squatters?
4 or 5 to start with, but we filled up in the next year.
I see. So you had quite a selection to choose from.
Yes, my friend walked me round the back and the front of both sides of the road and asked me which house I would like to choose. And I chose the one with square pin electric sockets and a conservatory.
And the electric was on?
No, it was switched off, but we got the meter going after a week. We had to pay a £20 deposit. I got the tap running within 24 hours into a bucket, and then within a couple of weeks we had a sink, and I plumbed it into the drain with bicycle inner tube, which lasted the 4 years I was there.
Oh, well done.
I had my 20th birthday a fortnight after we moved in.
Oh, right.
The day after I moved in, the Saturday, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young played Wembley Stadium.
Oh, right.
And it was £3.50 a ticket. So I was sitting on the kitchen table I brought with me in the living room, in number 1, thinking my whole life has changed. I would have been there, but now I have to use money to survive rather than living with my parents and having food and life provided.
Yes.
So it was quite a severe change.
Bit of a baptism into the real world.
If that's what you think, yes. Yeah. Yes, someone else's world.
Yes.
A few days after we moved in, John and I walked round the whole area again, and the back of the shops on London Road had a derelict house that on the cellar in red paint said "Rats keep out," and we did. But John was inspired to spray anthrax rats on our front door to discourage other people from coming in.
Yeah.
And we were never burgled, except once by somebody who was living there. And the general public, although we got bad publicity in the press, knocked on my door as number 1 and said, "Would you like a table? Would you like a cooker?" They had stuff, and they thought, people who were living with difficulty deserved help. And a few months after, other friends of mine wanted to move in, so they moved into number 2, which was the house opposite, which had been a single room bar downstairs. And then the house above it, it was, I think, the only 3-floor, had an attic house in the street.
So one of the houses was a pub then? Had been a pub?
I think it was called the Duke of Cambridge, and the street was called Cambridge Gardens until the war,
Right.
but there were too many Cambridge Gardens Road in London.
Of course, that was before postcode. Was it before postcodes, wasn't it?
Unbelievably, yes, that would have been. The government sent us a postcard telling us our address and postcode. I wish I'd kept it. I never considered it at the time.
Yeah.
They must have only been in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So in not very long, I was receiving mail to Anthrax Rats, 1 Willow Close, and then to Anthrax James. So I had a pseudonym, you know, a moniker, forced on me without even thinking about it from the end of '74 on. One of the squatters, Andy, was studying to become a solicitor, and they'd previously lived in a road 1/4 of a mile away with Steve, who was educationally subnormal. When they'd left Steve behind, he'd gone to the dole to say, "I've lost the people I lived with," and the builders had found him in the house and thrown him out. And the people at the dole said, "Oh, your friends have all moved to this address." So Andy brought him to me at number 1 and said, "Will I let him stay with me?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Okay." He was a real handful. If we had visitors, he didn't want to disturb us, so he climbed over the glass roof of the conservatory.
Wow.
To get into the bedroom at the back upstairs. He put his foot straight through
Wow.
the overhang, which protected you from rain as you went to the outside load.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was very furious. I said to him, "If you can't use the front door, you can't live here." He thought I was joking. I said, "Try me." He earned, the dole gave him extra money. He got £9 a week when we got 7, but he couldn't use a cooker, so he always spent his money in cafes. So by the weekend he was broke, so I had to keep him.
And at that time you were working for the post office, weren't you?
No, I'd left. I was only in the post office for 18 months until I was 18.
But you were having to support this gentleman, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
From your dole money.
Yes.
Although you only got £7 and he got £9.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the way life was. And still is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
People, you know, don't watch others fail in front of them.
No.
One night at 1 in the morning, he decided to board up his bedroom windows because he didn't like the sunlight. And he put a nail through the glass. It sounded like rifle fire. So that was a bit unnerving. The police drove up and down the road, but as nothing was happening, they didn't do anything. Twice he left us to go back to, once to stay with his mother, she threw him out, and once to his children's home, where the manager let him do odd jobs. But the inspector found him, and because he was over 18, threw him out again. Finally, the 3rd time, he left me to go and live with his dad. And in Westminster, he got £25 a week because they recognised the trouble he was in. And his dad let him help run a flower stall at Earl's Court Underground.
So you say Westminster, I mean, surely Dole wasn't local, was it? It was national, wasn't it?
You got the rate given by whoever it was, wherever you were.
Oh, right.
So if they recognised you were more disabled somewhere else, you got a different rate.
Because that's not the case now, of course, is it?
Yes.
But is it? Oh, more disabled, you say? More disabled,
Yeah.
not when you say Westminster. Oh, Westminster as in House of Commons, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Westminster Council.
Yeah, Westminster Council.
Oh, right, anyway.
He lived with his dad.
Yeah.
His dad wouldn't throw him out.
No.
they had a horse to draw their cart for their stall every day to Earl's Court Underground.
Crikey.
And they had a man who lived with the horse.
Crikey.
It's the way the 70s were. The Victorian era hadn't finished.
No. Pre-war sort of thing.
I asked Steve to contribute to the electricity bill. £15, it was 50. I provided electricity to number 3 and number 5, and they used it foolishly. When I was on my own, the bill was only £20. And again, he thought I was trying to rob him, so he refused to pay. And a month after I'd paid the bill, he said to me, look, they wouldn't have cut the electricity off. And I said, no, Steve, I paid the bill. He said, you had the money all the time. Anyway, his dad explained to him that you actually have to pay for electricity, and a year later he came back with a handful of £20 notes and offered me the lot, and I took one. So yes, he lived with me through end of 74, early 75, and I was staying over the road in number 2 to help build the house. We laid floorboards where tramps had used them as firewood. We plumbed the water with garden hose and only turned the mains on when we wanted the tap running.
Yeah.
They had an indoor toilet, which no other house had. But 6 weeks after we moved in, Mr. Roberts left with his wife and daughter, and apparently he was asked if he objected to us being there in number 1, and the area health authority would have evicted us if he'd have said so. He said he preferred to live in a house in a street that was occupied.
Yes, yes.
And we didn't really go out in daylight for the first couple of months. It was kind of, we wanted to keep a low profile.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know but found out 40 years later was that my dad phoned the police to get them to evict me, but they wouldn't.
Oh dear.
So having made me homeless from his house, he then wanted to make me homeless from somewhere else. So he wasn't an easy person to deal with.
No.
John became a student in September 75 and moved to a hall of residence in central London. And another friend, Mark, came and stayed. From that moment when John left, I decided the house was mine. So I had a winter bedroom at the back with a coal fire.
Yeah.
And a summer bedroom at the front.
Right.
That I moved from one to the other as needed.
Yes.
But Mark stayed, I don't know, 7 or 8 months, and then moved into number 2 with his friends. And Bill moved into Mark's room when he left, sometime at the end of 76, and came back from the pub with an Australian called Dave, who stayed with me for 3 months through the summer of 76.
Sounds like a distinct lack of women about.
Dave had a girlfriend who he treated abominably. Bill had a girlfriend who was lovely, Sally.
Oh right, living in Scotland now?
Yes,
yeah?
yes, she stayed there.
Yeah, yeah.
And
but it was the men who sort of took up tenancy, as it were. They claimed tenancy. It was the men who...
People tend to look after their daughters.
Their daughters?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you said, they were girlfriends.
Yeah, they were, but in life, adults look after girls. Boys can just be left to go hang. I mean, John hadn't had parents since he was about 10. They lived abroad. They sent money. He was a boarder, but the boarders were adrift. They used to come to my house and take LSD.
Oh dear.
I mean, I wasn't up for it.
No,
but,
I didn't think so.
I would make them tea and make sure my father didn't catch them.
Yeah.
They had a hard life. So no, in number 10, which had a willow tree painted on the front door, was lived in by Roger and Chris, who were in my year at school. Roger's a London cycling campaign.
So did you went to a private school, did you?
Dulwich College.
And were there some of these squatters with you from Dulwich College?
There were 8 of us.
Oh, I see. You two went from college to that. Yeah, I'm with you.
John had been living in my van.
Yes.
Chris and Andy.
And let's paint a bit of a picture here, because we're talking about 74. So sort of long hair and listening to a lot of music on the vinyl records. Constant music. And
Constant.
what sort of bands were you listening to at that time then?
I had 40 albums that were mainly Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath and the Groundhogs. John had the American stuff, which was Quicksilver, Messenger Service, Love, and the British folk.
Pentagle and
Purple Convention.
Folk rock.
And the lot in number 2 opposite were listening to the Grateful Dead and the Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, they were a little bit more progressive, psychedelic.
Yeah, it was all niche corners.
Niche corners to the squats.
Because you couldn't buy everything.
No.
So each group bought something.
Just going off on a bit of an aside there, with the Greenham Common protesters,
Yeah.
they had like little communities all around Greenham Common who were different focuses of music or whatever activities.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so that was early 80s, so this was kind of 10 years
before that.
Before.
Yeah, but you sorted yourself out into music preferences.
So in May 76, just as Aussie Dave came and stayed with me in number 1, the Croydon Advertiser published front page, "Squatters murder local boy."
Right, yeah.
So we went to the shop to buy cigarettes and a loaf of bread, and no one would speak to us. And eventually I heard that there was something in the local paper. So the report said some chap took this 17-year-old to a house called The Willows in Willow Close, and they sold him heroin, and I took him home, and he died in bed, and his mum found him the next morning.
Yikes.
So the police then raided us they came in transits with the engines switched off, 6 in the morning, 4 police to each house. Several of the houses had already been demolished, so they just stood in a bare patch of land.
Yes.
I was away that day. I went to Bristol to visit friends. Aussie Dave was shocked that the police didn't arrest him. They came, they looked round, they went away. It transpired that the chap who claimed we gave him the heroin had been the supplier, and I think he went to prison. But we ended up with a Sunday afternoon tourists, families in their cars with all the windows wound up and the doors locked.
Yeah.
Came up the cul-de-sac, turned round by the coal yard, because we had gates at the end, they couldn't get through into the hospital, and drove out to see the squatters. Well, those that had been sent to us from psychiatric ward lived at the end, numbers 18 to 24.
This was from the hospital that was there, was it?
Yeah.
What, Mayflower was it?
Mayday Hospital.
Mayday Hospital, and that was a psychiatric hospital.
With everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, General Hospital.
Yeah.
Croydon, large. It was half a square mile.
So it had all the departments. It was before hospitals had really been sort of specialised as they are more now.
Yeah, all hospitals were like that at the time. It was Victorian. It's why they owned the little cottages, which were for ancillary workers to live in.
Yeah.
And they were next to the coal yard, which provided the boiler room with the furnace for the heat for the hospital.
Right.
And they let us take buckets of coal
to
heat our houses, but they would prosecute cars that came up to steal coal generally. So yeah, we had a bad 3 months, and I spent a lot of that time in St Agnes Place.
Oh, I see.
Away.
Yes. What was bad about the 3 months then?
Well, we wrote letters to the local paper, the Croydon Advertiser, to say we didn't do it.
But because of the murder still.
Yeah, the murder, which of course wasn't really very helpful. And they published 3, especially the one from Aussie Dave, who wasn't even living in the street at the time, might not have even been in the country. And he came the day I went to see the Stones at Earl's Court, and he left the day I went to see them at Nebworth.
Oh, that's coincidence.
So it was a very, very tight period, I can say, when he was there. He was very difficult, and I didn't like him much. I also lost my car the day of the Stones gig. Somebody who lived with us wrote it off. Again, he'd been at school with us. I treated him as a friend. It didn't work. Finally, by the end of '76, we didn't have a TV, but punk rock happened.
Yes.
So John and I went to the Roxy to see the Damned, and we turned up with long hair and a greatcoat. The Damned cancelled, and there were only a dozen people there. We spoke to Don Letts. We came back a week later with short hair and a leather jacket, which I think I still have. And I have the short hair at any rate.
Yeah. At the moment.
Yeah, suddenly.
So at lockdown you had it very long, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It will grow, you know.
It will grow. So that was a bit more reminiscent of your squatting days when you had that long bushy hair. Well, it was a lot more curly, wasn't it, in the past?
I had full Charles II 7 ridges in '73 when I was filmed by D.O. Pennybacker going into the Hammersmith Odeon to see David Bowie.
I mean, you must have had women just chasing after you all the time, mustn't you?
No, I had girls who were friends, but I never really had a girlfriend.
Ah.
I was too disturbed. My childhood had been too unsafe.
Ah, right, and they picked this up.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. I knew it somehow.
Yeah.
You couldn't have a girlfriend and say, and by the way, we can't have children eventually.
No.
My dad's not safe.
Oh, but you didn't.
Right. Just didn't. None of it.
You didn't know what you didn't know what he might do.
No, I did know what he would do. He was malicious and difficult and selfish. So it wasn't that he was a sexual abuser. He was an emotional abuser.
Right.
And did the same to my mother. So.
Yeah.
You know, it was all very fraught. So 1977 was just incredible times.
The Silver Jubilee.
Well, buying punk singles, going to gigs, London was full of kids who turned up from all over Europe and America to see the new scene.
Yes.
It was exactly how London had been in 66, 67.
Yes.
So I had a job for some of it. I worked for a car delivery parts company.
Yeah.
Who again were really unpleasant. I did my very best for them.
Hmm.
And they said, you have to wear a tie. I laughed, I hadn't worn a tie since I'd left school. Anyway, I did it. And after 3 months, they sacked me. But it was a very useful learning curve. When you go to the dole and say you've been sacked, you get full rate immediately.
Yes.
If you left voluntarily,
Yes, it's still the same today.
you get 60%.
Well, you don't even get anything, I don't think, if you leave voluntarily.
Oh, right.
These days.
Right.
It takes a while to get back on it.
So I learned never to go and say that I'd left a job. I only went and said I was sacked.
Yeah.
And we were really looking forward to 1978, but it was a bit of a damp squib. There wasn't so much happening. And I got a job as a minicab driver in a Cortina Mark II to have some money to be able to move out if necessary, which turned out to be the case.
Mm.
A lad came and stayed with me who drank kaolin and morphine.
Oh.
Which was really unpleasant.
What did that do to him?
Well, he was thin as a rake.
Mm.
And he stole from us, and I was trying to sort what to do. I gave my records to a friend to take to my parents because he was going near, and I left virtually everything I owned behind.
And then when you left Willow Close, and when you went from Willow Close to St Agnes Place, but then you left St Agnes Place to go back to Willow Close.
Yeah, I always had my house at number 1.
And what date did you go back?
End of August '76.
Oh right. So yes.
So I went back for 2 years.
Yeah. Yes, it sounds an incredible existence now, doesn't it? Like I said before in the St Agnes Place video, it's just a different world, wasn't it, really, to be able to do that sort of thing.
Well, providing electricity to numbers 3 and 5, Roger and Nikki lived in 5, and I asked them for their 50 quid for the bill, and I said to Roger, you know, give me £10 a week a month before the bill was due, because I used to read the meter.
Mm. Oh, what in their house?
In my house.
Oh, in your house, yeah,
My
yeah,
house.
yeah.
And he said, no, I won't do that. So I said, fine. So the bill came, and on the Saturday I pulled the plug on his electric, and he came and knocked on the door.
What to pay? You wanted to pay?
No, he said, the electric's failed.
Oh, right.
I said, yeah, I pulled the plug. I said, it's 50 quid. I showed him the bill. I said, well, I'm paying Monday. He said, you don't have to pay this bill till Tuesday. I said, that's why I'm paying Monday. Oh, he said. So he gave me the 50 quid on the Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And while I was out, they burgled me.
Oh, that's all you want, isn't it?
So he put the grill from the sewer at the drains at the back through the kitchen glass. And then his wife went to the local record shop and sold them my records, Nikki.
Mm.
They got £12. Some of them I've never replaced. So I wasn't pleased. I got the man in the record shop to identify her, but he didn't want to be a witness in court because they'd attack his shop, potentially. But that's just the way of the world. Hilariously, when I first moved into the house, John and Mike caught me reading the meter at 6 o'clock each day when I came in from work. So for a joke, they turned everything on, cooker, whatever they could find, plugged in a iron, I think.
Yeah, this was all on a wire going from your house to theirs.
No, this was in my house.
Oh, it was in your house, right.
And I came home to find them sitting round the meter, watching it whiz round.
Yeah, yeah.
And they thought I'd be upset. They thought I'd say, oh no, you have to, and panic. But what I was doing, I was reading the meter daily so that it read 15 pence more each day, so that I knew the bill would be £15 after 3 months.
No, right, yeah.
Well,
you've lost me on this one, but yeah.
I wanted to know what the bill would be.
Yeah.
I wasn't bothered how much it was.
Esoteric squatters, landlord, ways of distributing, collecting electricity money.
No, I knew I had to be able to pay.
Yeah. So when did you eventually move? So the Willow Close was demolished in the end, wasn't it?
I moved out end of '78. I picked up a girl when I was minicabbing.
Yeah.
And she let me stay in her parents' house.
Uh-huh.
Willow Close was knocked down January 1980.
Right.
And eventually turned into, it's now laboratories. There's no road entrance.
No.
But people took the road nameplates out. There were 4, 2 that said Willow Close and 2 that said cul-de-sac, so that when it became a building site, they had to put up a cardboard sign for the lorries to find it.
I see.
And so I have one of each.
Yes. Yes, that'd be interesting to see those.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so happy memories from Willow Close, really. Well, mixed memories. Some happy, some sad.
Yes, generally an incredible sense of freedom.
Any pop groups visit the close at all?
Rat Scabers was rumoured to have stayed in number 11. The Damned were a Croydon band. And we didn't know it, but Johnny Moped were playing only 800 yards away at Selhurst.
Oh, yeah.
Very near. We formed a band in '77, The Thrust. I was the singer. We never got a drummer. John was a reasonable rhythm guitarist.
Now this is all new. I've never heard that you used to be a singer in a punk band, James.
We had.
What did you call yourself?
The Thrust.
No, but you.
I already was Anthrax James.
Oh, you were Anthrax James, yeah.
It was already there.
Anthrax James from The Thrust.
Yeah.
Lovely. Remember any of the songs at all?
No, but we attempted a reggae thing, which we weren't very good at.
Any recordings of them you've got?
No, but there was a cassette made.
Yeah, but it's long lost.
I don't have it.
Oh, what a pity! What a pity!
Yeah.
What sort of style was it in? The chanting sort of style?
It was the average din of the day.
Average din. No videos of it.
Didn't exist at the time.
No, but you were doing videos, weren't you? But that was later you were doing the videos.
No, I didn't start filming till the 90s.
Ah, right.
We didn't even have a camera to take stills, which is why the pictures I've got are from other people.
Yes.
One of my last memories, Nigel, who stayed with us, had been in a band in '73 and was what was known as an acid casualty of the time.
Mm-hmm.
His band had failed to get a contract because of the oil crisis, which stopped production of vinyl.
Yeah. Ah, didn't know that either.
And it was just as Keith Moon died, and Nigel was a drummer, and he wrote "Moon" dripped out of a can of paint in the middle of the road. And I left for the last time around the time he was doing that.
And you say he was a casualty. Did he die, or did he just get brain damage?
He was brain damaged.
Yeah.
2 years later, I was driving a lorry delivering eggs and cheese, And I saw him dancing across the traffic in Bromley.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
And I waved and he saw me, but I couldn't stop because the lights changed.
Yeah, I mean a lot of the LSD casualties sort of went sort of morose rather than dancing in front of the traffic, sort of didn't they? Because I mean, take Sid Barrett. I mean, he was very much a dancing in front of the traffic before the LSD problems, but afterwards he lost his sparkle a little bit, didn't he?
Absolutely. Walked to Cambridge from Highgate.
Yeah, wow.
And never came back.
No.
Very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, LSD's got a lot to answer for, hasn't it?
Hundreds of thousands of people took it at weekends for decades and are still doing it with MDMA and aren't really bothered by it.
Yeah, we were listening to The Drugs Don't Work earlier on, The Verve.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether that's anything to do with LSD or not, but just by coincidence. Yeah, so as you say, mixed experience of the squatter's life.
Different times. I want to get the newspaper articles out of the Croydon Library archive.
Definitely, if you could get the one which said squatters murder boy, that would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely, that was front page. And then the letters. Oh, and then we invited a journalist to come for tea to show what lovely people we were.
Yeah.
And we
but lovely people still commit murders.
Do they?
I'm afraid so, yes.
Okay. But it didn't happen to be us that time.
No.
And the journalist came and we gave him tea and cake and we behaved very well, and somebody sat on Nigel so that he behaved. And there were about 30 of us in the upstairs room at number 2.
Wow.
We had a friend who was Indian, Nirup, who was a PE teacher and taught disabled kids. And he was murdered in Deptford just at that time, spring '78, which was very upsetting. He came to visit, and rather than knock on the front door and wait for someone to come downstairs, he scaled up between the wall and the tyre lorry in the lane next to number 2 and tapped on the window to come in. He was great. I was in the year below with his younger brother. Yeah, there was, and of course the whole atmosphere of Croydon was very blue collar, working class. Had no sympathy and no empathy.
What, with squatters?
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was. It was completely alien to them. There were still factories. People were queuing at bus stops.
So, but in St Agnes Place, you were a little bit more anonymous there, weren't you? And a bit more bohemian there as well, wasn't it?
5 miles nearer central London.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said in the last film it was 3 or 4 miles from Buckingham Palace. I don't think it was. I think it was more like 1.5 miles.
Ah.
I got it wrong. You caught me out on the hop.
Right, never mind.
But that's a basic account of how we were.
Lovely. Perhaps we could see those signs now then. The Willow Close signs.
Okay.
Okay. So this is obviously the Willow Close sign, and someone's knocked it off. It's got the ends missing.
Yeah. And I had a cul-de-sac sign below it.
Yeah.
Which I also have somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
And there were 2 of each.
Yeah.
And they were taken off when we were leaving, and replaced with a cardboard.
Oh, it's nice you've got this, because you're very keen on street furniture, aren't you? Right. Yeah. So this is made of hardboard, and
some kind of plasticated plant.
So you say the Sirens. What's that mean then?
They were a band.
They were another band, which that pub band sort of thing.
It would have been punk rock, 78.
Yeah.
There is a band called the Sirens that members of the Fall belong to, but I don't know if this is the same.
Same
band.
not.
Alan, who lived in number 11, we've got a picture of him, was a fabulous artist, and I have a painting by him.
Oh, great, yeah, let's see that then.
There's part of the painting in the photo of me and Chris in number 1.
Oh, right.
I had to leave mine behind, so I haven't got it. I'm thrilled that the photo exists. This was John's painting, which he made me a copy of, I think for my 60th birthday. Is that in?
Is this the copy?
It's still a bit low.
Is that the copy then, or the
That's
original?
the copy.
Oh, right, I see a copy, yeah.
How's that?
That's almost perfect, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it's a lot of symbolism there, isn't there? And is this a drug taker who did this?
Alan was a mod in '64 who wanted to. They hung out. They had a Mini, probably stolen because they weren't prepared to go about on scooters and get their clothes dirty. But by by '76, he was 27, and he was a kind of committed hippie in a Levi jacket, and vegetarian, made soup, was very community minded, always looked after anybody and everybody, and had a very interesting time with the doll because he wasn't interested in work and looked it. So they were very difficult with him. So we had a kid who was a inveterate shoplifter, and the police caught him and said, if you grass up someone else, we'll let you off. And he said, Alan washed a car. Well, that constitutes work. So they dragged Alan into the dole next time he signed on and said, we heard you washed a car. And he said, well, I only got dinner, I didn't get money. And they said, it's still payment. If you come back in the next 12 months, we'll send you to like retraining camp. Well, the threat, I believe, wasn't real. I've talked to people ever since and never heard of anyone. Everybody says they exist. Nobody's ever actually been to one.
No.
Where they make you get up in the morning and do pretend work for a year or even less. I've just never heard of the actual place existing.
No.
So I said, okay, if Alan was perfectly capable of looking after himself. He'd lived in Croydon his whole life, knew everybody. Everybody would look after him anyway, and he would move drugs for people if necessary. You know, it was just second nature. And I said, well, if 4 of us put in a £5 a week, I was minicabbing, Alan can cook. So that way, Alan gets dinner and we get fed. So that's what happened. And Alan said, I'll make soup. Then we had dinner. Then we had pudding. And I said, I want cheese and biscuits.
Yeah, 4 courses.
And they all laughed at me. You damn middle class ex-public school boy, you know. I went, no. I said, I'll tell you what it is. If you drop the soup, burn the dinner, and we have to eat sponge cake, that's no good after I've been 12 hours minicabbing. So I want a reserve course. We don't have to eat it, but at least it's there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And they went, oh, if it's going to be like that. So Alan said to me one week, he said, I bought a couple of bottles of wine, your money, because I only spent 16 quid on dinners. I said, I don't care, Alan. He knew I was teetotal. I said, I don't care what you do with the money. I care that we all get fed. You see, we got a very wonderful community spirit.
Yes.
Between us, everybody had had fairly difficult upbringings. Kathy, his girlfriend, who I'm still friends with, her mother was a Conservative councillor in Surrey. She came to live in the squat when she was still a schoolgirl. She's just about to retire. You met Kathy?
I'm not sure. I've heard you talking of her. Yes, I've heard you talking of her. Certainly.
She keeps on turning up.
That's good.
So yes, that was John's painting by Alan. I had my own. He also did this. Bit dusty, as you can see. It's been hanging around.
Yeah.
But he was very keen on the Eye of Horus as a symbol. The ancient Egyptians. He liked Nazi iconography. He said, I'm the kind of person they would have killed and they would have been right. You know, it was the way the 70s were.
What do you mean the way the 70s were?
People were not prepared to be condemnatory.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the community. Yeah, it was just before Thatcher, wasn't it, basically?
Yes. And the other thing that was hilarious, again, not really funny, we had a community November the 5th. Shall I sit down? Which I didn't actually attend because I was going out. Must have been in the Cambridge, so it must have been, I don't know, no, it must have been 77. There were 30 of them hanging out in where number 6 and number 4 had been. As soon as Mr. Roberts moved out, the Area Health Authority demolished the houses. And Andy had been party to putting a slogan up saying destroyed by the state. Anyway, so they had a big bonfire in a quite tight space. And the next day when the fire had gone out, they were firing an air rifle and a pellet bounced back. And they found a shell, a military. Anyway, being dutiful citizens, they phoned the police. The police went, oh, we'll phone the army. The army went, oh, we'll phone the bomb squad. The bomb squad said, it's Boer War. So the good people of Croydon nearly lost their squatters in a huge explosion.
How big was this munition then?
It was a proper thing.
Because it's not, did you say it wasn't too far from a manufacturing place where they manufactured munitions?
No, I don't think so.
How did you get there then?
Somebody had brought it home as a souvenir.
Oh.
It's what everybody did. My dad brought home a grenade. His father made him bury it, which is even worse. Everybody from any war always brought back something. Yeah. It's how you get trench art.
Yes, well, we better wind up there, I would say, wouldn't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you'll get a reasonable story out of it.
Sure, yes.
I'll go through the pictures with you so that you can see who's who.
Yeah.
This is James at number 2 with Wally. This is Kathy, and who is it?
Alan.
Alan, at what number?
Outside number 11 and in number 11.
And this is
Bill and Sally, who lived in number 2 with Wally.
Bill and Sally at 1 who?
And there's another picture of them there, but that's actually taken in number 1.
And then this is number 1 with the Jag.
Yep, 1, 3, 5 and 7 with Pete standing outside number 3.
And who's on the top?
Malcolm.
And this is?
That's outside numbers 9 and 11, showing you the hospital the Union Jack with a black shield on it, and the gates into the hospital.
And this is Mark, who was keen on aquariums, is it?
Yeah, this is Mark with his
Fish.
tropical fish in number 2, and the window on the right I climbed out of
Okay.
onto the roof to get into number 3, when again John and Mike decided it'd be fun to lock me in the room.
Yep.
That's Kathy, Alan and Kevin in number 11. His dad was a policeman, so he asked me if I would let him come and live in the squat.
Oh, a better picture of James here. James and Sally. This is the person who you went to live with after then.
No, Bill and Sally were a couple. They moved to a flat in Tooting.
Bill and Betty, Betty inmate of psychiatric ward. John and Bill. That's Bill with the jag.
And
You been watching it?
that's the door to the entrance to the bar of number 2 when it was a pub, which was bricked up on the inside. And that's the back of London Road, shop from number 2. And that's Mark, who lived in number 8, and the guy facing is the safe breaker who left his fingerprints somewhere and ran away.
You don't know what his name is.
I can't even remember his name. He was seen at King's Cross.